Welcome back to another episode of the Anecdote podcast. My name is Justin Victorio. To my right and to your left, we got my co-host,
Trouty.
Yes, sir. And today we got a very special guest. Today's actually my first time meeting her. Stream her EP, Jordan, right? Yes, sir.
Jordan.
Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself.
What's up? So my name is Shrls.
Okay.
I'm from North Bergen, New Jersey.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna lead off with that.
Okay.
Again, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, what you're about, what you believe in, what you don't believe in.
Word. So my name is Shrls. I'm from North Bergen, New Jersey. I'm 23. Okay. I'm a Taurus, May 7th.
Hey now.
I'm a creator.
She's getting everything out. What's the social?
Where my social security?
Yeah.
Here you go. No, I'm kidding. I'm a creator, lover.
What else? Yeah.
You know, I just create. I express.
Mm-hmm.
I dance. I pretty much. I mean, I don't box myself really.
Yeah.
I just pretty much.
You don't like to be categorized,
right?
I feel you. Speaking of, I mean, you do so many things like in the arts. I guess let's start off, from your childhood, like your biggest inspirations. Where do you draw like the most influence from, like when it comes to creating? It doesn't have to be singing, it doesn't have to be dancing. Just creating, because you said you like do all of the above.
Right.
Yeah.
I would have to say through life experiences, really. I don't really like growing up, I've always heard, my idols were A, B, and C. And, I've always asked myself like, well, who do I look up to?
Yeah.
And I was never able to answer that question because I could never find like that one person that I idolized. It was really more so pieces.
I feel you.
Of everyone and everything.
Yeah.
And I learned and I pick up from everybody. So
yeah. So I've thought about this a lot actually, because I guess when it comes to being like a creator, the way I think about it is that I feel like at the same time, simultaneously, there's nothing ever original. But at the same time, we're all like derivatives and components of one another. That makes us to a point where that's where we reach originality, which is crazy to think about if you think about it.
Well, yeah, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, under the sun.
Like for real, everything is inspired by something else, and everyone's inspired by somebody or something else. So yeah, I'm on board with that.
You agree?
I agree with that.
Okay, so your biggest influences, you haven't really been able to like pinpoint it.
Yeah,
right?
I was never able to like really pinpoint. It was just
even up to now.
Even up to now, really, yeah.
Okay, I mean, so what type of music do you listen to then primarily?
What were you listening to right now in the car?
On your way over.
So I have this playlist. I make a playlist for every little thing. I love playlists. Yeah, on Spotify. Spotify is awesome, by the way. I was on
Spotify.
I'm Team Apple Music.
I was on Apple Music for a while, actually, for the longest, and I recently moved over to Spotify.
What made you switch over?
Yeah. When did you do that?
I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Really, I made the move, and I was like, you know what? Spotify actually pays attention to what I listen to, because
you find a lot of good artists on Spotify.
A lot of good artists on Spotify, and Apple Music doesn't do that.
No,
Apple Music does not do that.
Apple Music does more like social. Like, what are your friends listening to? I don't care.
I don't
even know. I don't even think it's whatever your friends listen to. I think it's just like,
what are
they playing on the radio?
You could add your friends on app.
For real?
I think on Apple Music, you could see what they're listening to and what you're listening to and what you share in common. I'm like, I don't care.
Damn, I've never used it to that full extent.
So you're just like on L's, like
no. I'm a big music fan. You know me. I talk to you about music, but like as far as like the playlist and like discovering new artists, that's just me. Like,
I love that.
Yeah, like looking for it.
That's what Spotify is clutch for that. It's not as clutch for other things, but it is. But no, so you have a playlist for everything, and
right. And right now I was listening to like Solange and Erykah Badu. I love Erykah Badu.
I feel like every time we hang out or like we see each other, just every couple months, because you're always out here. She's traveling world tour.
Word. I thought you just in like, is it California or Arizona?
Everywhere, bro.
And California and
Florida,
international.
Detroit.
She international.
Where else? North Bergen.
You said Detroit too? North Bergen.
No, but I feel like Erykah Badu is always playing for some reason. Specifically that song.
Mm-hmm.
Which specific song?
Damn, I forgot the name.
Didn't You Know was playing.
Didn't You Know?
Yeah.
But I think you're talking about On and On.
Okay.
by Erykah Badu.
Well,
listen to that
Erykah Badu in
song-
general, then.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
general. I listen to her.
I love her.
often.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like her sound.
She's wild too.
Yeah, she's crazy. I love
Yeah.
how like free spirited she is and how open, and she's just different.
Would you
know?
say to you? I mean, in regards to like free spirited and open, like, is that a little bit how like you live your lifestyle, like as far as like how you carry yourself as like an individual?
Yeah, that's definitely how
Yeah.
my friends always tell me, like, you free spirited Taurus. Where are you now?
You've
in
always
this
been like that,
world?
though?
I've always been like that. Like,
Okay, that's dope.
even as a in diapers, my grandmother has stories for days.
Yeah.
Like, she'll tell me, you're like 2 years old, playing with like the bucket of rice, trying to toss it over, trying
Yeah.
to create something, just
Well, didn't you post a couple of times just like you as a little baby just doing like
craziness.
backflips where you were supposed to get your diaper changed or something like that?
I was supposed to get my diaper changed. My grandmother was taking care of me. I was supposed to
Yeah.
get my diaper changed. And I was on the bed naked. I did not want to get my diaper changed.
Yeah,
Turned on the radio and I was just blasting music. I picture like a little 1-year-old.
yeah. I was gonna say,
doing
like, how old were you?
flips on the
Yeah,
bed. I was, like a few months. Like
Shit, it
a
started
year and few
from
months.
early then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was just always too crazy.
But so how do you think that translates into your art and your expression and creating things?
That's interesting because so growing up, so my name is Ashley, right? My middle name is Shirley.
He introduced me
Shirley
as Shrls. He introduced me as
Shrls.
Shrls. so I'm sorry.
Because
I love Shrls.
that is a cat on the table. His name is Bruce Nazario. Goodbye, Bruce.
Special guest
Because
appearance.
I was it. Who are we going to meet? We were going to New York, and I think we were going to meet one of my friends in New York. And I asked her, "What do you prefer me to introduce you as?" And she said, "Shrls." And then ever
Shrls.
since then, I've just been introducing her as Shrls.
Oh, okay.
Shrls.
And it's
Okay.
part of her
prefer
middle
Shrls.
name.
You prefer
So
No. I was just
Whatever.
like, I heard Ashley, and I was like, who's Ashley? Shrls just came through the door. And I'm like, is there an additional person here? And
I actually cringe at the name Ashley just because I feel like it just doesn't
ring.
ring
I
to
feel you, I
me.
feel you.
Like I feel like it's not me sometimes.
It's a common name.
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
common name.
very common name.
yeah, but so speaking about your name, so how did you get your name cut down to Shrls?
Shrls.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So so growing up, I actually hated my middle name. I hated Shirley. That was the ugliest name ever. Like I just didn't want anything to do with it. And so the way my mind worked back then, right? It was sort of like if I hate something that belongs to me, like my identity, I'm gonna force myself to love it, right? So what I did was back then I was using AIM and MySpace
Oh yeah.
and and
BBM.
Tumblr, BBM.
Yes,
So
sir.
I made my username XD Shirley XD. XD like the face.
Was it a
Yeah.
lowercase d or a uppercase d?
Uppercase.
Let's go.
So it was XD Shirley XD for everything.
Yeah.
And I got so used to it that I ended up loving it. Like Shirley. I was like, oh, you know what? It rings.
Okay.
And in high school, I was just wild. I was crazy. So people used to call me Ash Cat.
Ash Cat?
I wasn't kidding about that. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
she just said
love
that
cats.
earlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I used to
I didn't have the
literally-
context. I was like,
I
Ash
didn't
Cat.
either.
I loved cats so much in high school. I used to like go to school some days with like the cat ears.
Wait, are you serious?
for real?
I was that girl.
Wait.
I feel like every school had like those like two set of people.
Wait.
Every school
Bro,
had
you
those two
remember-
set of people. Yeah, I don't remember who
But wait,
exactly you're
time
talking
out.
about.
Wait, I was
For
that
real?
girl.
How? Because you see how you post like baby pictures and stuff like that, or you in Arizona and stuff. Why don't you
You
post
should
that
post
photo?
those throwbacks. Yeah,
I do once in a while.
I've never
When
seen
I wanna-
it.
She sprinkles it in the feed.
yeah,
you feel me?
I sprinkle it.
Let's just sprinkle
a
it
little
right
bit.
now so everyone. I want to see that. That's
Maybe
crazy.
tonight, maybe
That was the
tomorrow.
last thing I expected. That
Yo,
she was
for
gonna
real.
mention that. I thought it was gonna be another like story
No.
about how you love cats, but you weren't the cat. Yeah, go ahead.
I was in high school just walking around with like cat ears. Like I didn't care. I was like, yeah, Ash Cat with
But
two
that's
T's.
yeah.
She
That
owned it,
shows
though.
something,
You-
though. Yeah,
you
like
owned
you
it,
don't
though.
care that you
That's-
just.
I just
know,
didn't care. I was like, yeah, man, I
Free-spirited.
love cats.
Exactly.
Crazy. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
but yeah, I was that girl. And then afterwards, after I graduated, I realized that I had two sides. Everyone has different, like they have layers
Yeah.
to themselves, right? And I realized that I was always hyperactive, and that was like the Ashley side. But also in high school, I was also doing poetry, and I got into
I love
like
poetry.
right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Poetry's amazing. I love poetry.
Oh my god.
So I got into that in high school, and that was more of my my calmer side. It was more like a incense.
You were like
and-
taming the hyperactive side. a little bit.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
And
I think I think every creative is like that in,
It's a
in
balance.
one way or another. Yeah, you have to balance yourself, or you're gonna go crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it made me realize like that was the Shrls side of me, right? The Shirley side.
Yeah.
So Ashley was a hyperactive and Shirley was when it came time to, just wind down and do the
Okay.
poetry and, all of that. So after I graduated, I was like, you know what? I want to get into music. I mean, I've always loved music, but I never thought that I could take it seriously.
Yeah.
Maybe because I was just too insecure. I was afraid that
I was actually going to ask that because you sounded like you were owning everything like that was part of your identity like growing up. I was going to ask like, have you ever had like any insecurities? You seem like a confident like individual for the most part.
It's interesting because
Yeah.
I'm a very shy person.
Oh, for real?
I'm
Hey.
super
No,
shy.
I mean,
That's like
I've met you for 15 minutes and like just hearing from like the podcast, your stories. It sounds like
with
you,
the
like,
cat ears.
Yeah, with the cat.
I think internally you might be shy, like, but you don't. That doesn't come off to other people like that.
It's interesting.
Antisocial extrovert.
It's a little different with her. You're an extrovert to the public,
Yeah.
at least. Like to us, like you could feel your energy. It's not like you're hiding it and afraid to show the world. It just like oozes out.
Right. Oozes, I like that.
Word choice. All right. So, I mean, you were going into your insecurities, like in like your experiences with insecurities.
Yeah, so it's interesting because, like you mentioned, I am, I'm considered, people look at me and I'm like extroverted and always out there and outgoing.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I would admit, yeah, I am, I would always dance, but for some reason, when it came to singing and when it came to music and like putting music out, I took it very personal and it was always sensitive to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure why yet to this day, but
I guess that would lead me into, I guess, your lyricism and like your use of words. You say you draw a lot of influence and draw a lot of influence from your experiences. So like with your music, I would imagine you are basically singing about like what you've been through.
Yeah.
So I would imagine like that's the reason why it would be, I guess,
It's personal.
like personal, sensitive topic. You get me?
Yeah.
Like, is that what would be, I guess, from like a lyric standpoint, like what do you mostly like speak about? What do you sing about?
Everybody speaks about this love. Like I'm a hopeless romantic. I really am a hopeless romantic. I love love.
I think that's my favorite phrase. I love love.
I love love. Yeah.
It feels like, even feels nice saying it, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, you're already in love.
We chilling.
I love love. And so, I've gotten my heart broken a few times, not even by partners, but, friendships and life.
Yeah, for sure.
People betray you and they stab you in the back and kind of just learn from it, but you do hurt. And writing lyrics and putting it into music, it's definitely a way to heal.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I write about.
Okay.
I think like there's kind of like a bad stigma sometimes that all you do is not about you, but certain singers, all you do is love songs and write about guys or girls. But I think like
I've never heard that stigma, by the way.
No, I have.
Oh,
like
really?
there's a lot of people that be like, oh, R&B, just love songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean,
at least older R&B. Maybe now it's like a little different because I feel like when I listen to R&B song, it could be like surface level. It could be about being in love or a specific person. But then if you actually break it down, it could be about several things. And one of them is being in love. But there's so many things that an artist writes in there that, only certain people are going to pick up. But I think that's part of what I would assume you like, like trying to get to different audiences within the same song, right? Is that something you aim for or no?
You know what? It's interesting because when I write music, like I said, I just express myself. But now I think that kind of leads into the technique and like the way I write, right? Like, so when it comes to like working on a song, some people have different ways of writing music, right? They usually write the lyrics first and then try to like put it into a beat, or like they listen to a beat and then they write the lyrics, they do it differently.
Yeah. What do you do?
So what I do is I listen to the beat, or like let's say I'm with a producer, we're listening to a beat, and I first pay attention to the way it makes me feel.
Mm.
And instantly I'll create like a feeling and a story that relates to my experience. And
You can
that's
draw
really-
it up like
I draw
just
it
like
up.
that?
Yeah, it's crazy. When I listen to sounds, I like create this whole story.
Yeah. Well, Trotty was telling me he sees colors when he sees.
That's
when he hears
interesting.
sound.
Well, not so. I think everybody who does music, if you hear a specific color, I mean, a sound, it's gonna associate with a specific color. At least for me, like in a
Mhm.
song, if you just close your eyes, for perfect example for Blonde, Frank Ocean, bro,
Shout
that
out.
color, that
Shout
that album is like a rainbow, and every track is just different.
Yeah.
Not even just because the name Pink and White, but just
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
it just I feel like every little sound in the back or where it's strategically placed, like it brings a different color to it, you know. And it's just frequencies have different colors, and
Yeah.
frequencies are sound, frequencies are colors, and yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Shrls, can you expand on like your writing process? You said you draw experiences.
Yeah, so when I listen, like he said, like the frequencies and the sounds and the harmonies or the whatever that's playing, I do envision this whole storyline and this mood, and
Yeah.
so it inspires me to pull from my experiences and add on to that, and so that's really how I do it. Really,
Wow. No, it's really interesting to like hear all this because like I'm not an artist, but like I'm a
Uh-huh.
videographer, photographer. So like I obviously have a different approach. And for me, when I'm piecing together something or like having a vision, it's more so just like not listening, but observing. It's the complete opposite.
Mm,
You get me? Because you're listening, so because you have to write to it and eventually produce something like vocal wise.
right.
I have to produce something like that I'm seeing. So like I just like observe, like especially for New York or some shit like that.
Mm.
Like just
Yeah,
really
you'd be
looking around.
like eyeing everything and see what you could make
like
with
what stands out.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
you feel me? You feel me?
the
So-
same thing with music.
So question. So
Yeah.
let's say you were to listen to a song right now and
Yeah.
you would have to like make a video for it. What's the process like you said? What?
So honestly, like
Sorry.
it's okay. My bad. Honestly, me personally, I would approach it similar to you. So I would listen to the song probably countless of times just to, I guess, extract like my personal interpretation, how I feel about it,
Mhm.
and then write that down, like physically write that down so it sticks and collaborate that idea with what the artist itself is trying to portray. If I'm working with the artist, but if I'm not, like I just want to shoot a video to it, it's honestly like what I picture in my head and
Right.
just put it into a video camera. You get me?
Right.
Yeah, it's honestly crazy. It's really crazy.
Bro, it's art. That's what I kind of get
So
mad.
abstract and like kind of not concrete.
Yeah.
It's very formless. There you go. It's formless.
So
Yeah.
art, there's art in everything, and people don't notice it. And I just feel like because you're not on a stage or you're not painting a mural somewhere, people are ashamed to call themselves artists. Like you're an artist, I'm an artist in my own right. We're all
Yeah.
artists,
We all create.
and yeah, and there's little things that I forgot. That came to my mind today. I was doing something, and I was like, "There's an art in everything. There's an art in doing certain things, the way you do them." You know.
Yeah.
But real quick before I forget, so you said you started wanting to do music after high school.
Yeah. 2016. I graduated 2015.
Hey, like
So-
2015, where you at? We
Class
out
of
here.
2015.
We here.
And so 2016, I was like, I actually met somebody at a music video shoot. I was at a music video shoot for an artist.
Yeah.
And I did not get the memo. Everyone was wearing white, and I pulled up in all black. So I was
It
like
just
the black
sticking
sheep.
out. Yeah.
So I wasn't in most of the scenes because obviously,
I'm trying to. Have you posted that before? Like which art? I'm trying to think of the artist.
Chris Herrera.
I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's a fantastic singer, by the way.
I have to listen. I have to listen. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out, Chris. So I went to his music video shoot, but I didn't get the memo. And so, I sat back for most of the shoots and there's this guy here and he was like, why don't you go on in front of the camera and dance? You do something, you seem like you dance. And I was like, no, I stand out, I'm wearing all black, everyone's wearing all white. And so we started talking a little bit. And his name's Sagrav, by the way.
Sagrav?
Sagrav.
It's tough
Oh, I
to
think I
say.
know who that is.
Yeah, Sagrav.
Yeah.
And so we started talking a little bit, and I told him my ideas and how I wanted to put up a website for my poetry. So I was still doing poetry.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? Let's like work on something. Let's, and so I went to his studio and we worked on a song, and he inspired me to take it seriously, really.
Oh, wow.
And I always tell him this, Sagrav.
That's amazing. Shout out.
Yeah.
Another shout out. We shout out
Another
everybody.
Shout out everybody, bro.
Love is love.
I love love. Come on.
We love love.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that was the start of it. You recorded a song. And then after that, just walk us through like the process of how it slowly started building up.
So after that, at home, I had GarageBand and I had like my keyboard, not like an actual keyboard, just a keyboard to like type. And I had my Beats headphones, and I would just grab beats off of YouTube and I would just try to sing over them.
Yeah.
I would download them, convert them, and
I think
start
everyone's
recording.
done that.
Yeah, I would
To MP3.
record.
Everyone does that.
Literally. And I would grab my Beats headphones and start singing. And so I had about like 5 1-minute tracks, like songs. And they were unmixed. They were off of the Beats headphones. And I was like, you know what? Let's put them together and like let's put it into a project. And so I dropped it on SoundCloud.
It's just still there.
It's still there,
Oh,
just
I'm about to get this.
unmixed.
Yo, you know what's
It's just
crazy? I
unmixed.
haven't heard that actually.
Really? No, I'm gonna give it.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
My first time ever hearing you was actually.
What's the project called?
So the Bedroom Records.
That's fire.
Yeah. 'Cause I made them in
Damn.
my room.
I feel.
I get it. I see the
Playing on
vision.
words, a little sprinkle here and there.
Yeah.
What's it saying? Oh, the first time I heard you sing or even like saw you was on Twitter. I forgot. It was one of your
Yeah.
freestyles you did in your room. You had a mic. I forgot which one it was. Damn. But you were on your bed and you were just singing. You put a couple of those out like back to back, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this shit is fire. Who the hell is this? So I followed you. And then I DM'd you. I was like, yo, if you ever want to work. Because I was just starting to work in New York in the studios and stuff like that. I was like, we should just work on something. I was like, all right. And, let me just DM her. And you were like, all right, cool. Let's do some shit. But the only reason I saw that was because somebody retweeted it. And
That's interesting.
I never told you.
No.
This
This is all brand new information.
brand new, right? Like what was your name? Ashcat, like that. Uma.
Uma.
She retweeted it.
I went to high school with her.
Yeah, I know. And it was kind of crazy because I only met her like a couple months before that. I was just shopping at Urban Outfitters. And then she retweeted it. And no, it is. Because there was literally it was like a path. Like, so a couple months
Like
later.
everything was meant to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she retweeted it and then I found you and then I followed you on Instagram. I DM'd you on Instagram. And then we were like, all right, if you ever want to work and do this. We talked about like mics and stuff or something like that, I think.
Mhm.
And yeah, we started, working on some random stuff just because I was just learning how to use the board, like the big ass console and shit. So you came through. But yeah, that I never told you, but that shit is crazy because it was like everything had to happen randomly.
It was like a domino
It was
effect.
like exactly, like a domino
Domino effect.
effect. So yeah.
Literally.
Everything has intent. Everything has a reason.
Yep.
Hey,
You found
yo.
it. Bedroom Records.
We about to play a little sample right now.
Put that in the Snapchat. I mean, put that in the group chat. I said Snapchat. What the?
Put that in the group chat. Group chat.
Put that in the group chat. No, don't put that on the
The
Snapchat.
Snap
Put that on
group,
the group chat.
And
And
then
then,
don't have Snapchat.
yeah, you do.
No, you don't. You guys don't.
But yeah, Bedroom Records, it's all unmixed. I use my Beats headphones just singing like this. And
Yeah.
I was like, they're all under 2 minutes. It's
Okay.
like probably a minute and 30 seconds.
And you said all the
each.
beats are off YouTube.
All the beats are off YouTube.
And you showed your friends, you showed people, what did people
Did you ever? Yeah. Did you
think?
push it or?
Were
I
you nervous?
really didn't-
What was the process of you just like putting it out?
You know what? Like I said, Sagrav inspired me. I was like, because I love his energy just because he's very like, if he wants to do something, he'll do it. And he's a go-getter.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring. And so I had all these tracks and I was like, let me put them together.
My bad.
Hey, yo, you-
My bad.
Your girl texting you?
I didn't mean to disrespect. He texted the South.
That's your girl?
No.
Baby.
Sagrav. Let's get back to Sagrav. I don't even know the guy, but I'm starting to like him because
I'm a fan already.
I've been hearing
'cause
stories.
we talk about him like every 2
I've been hearing stories. He get inspired. People.
Sagrav.
I'm trying to get inspired out here. Shit. But continue.
Yeah, SAGRAP gave me the push to really do my own thing. And so when I put Bedroom Records, I had a bunch of 1-minute tracks.
Mhm.
I was like, let me just put it together. On the description, I'll just say it's unmixed.
Yeah.
But it's a vibe. And I went with it and I dropped it. And it became what it is. And it inspired me to keep going and really take music seriously. So then afterwards, I was like, you know what, let me work on writing 3-minute songs. Let me work on my pitch. Let me
Yeah.
work on runs. Let me work on just really perfecting my tone.
Like
Well-
perfecting the production value of the song.
I'm sorry.
The production value of the song, like learning every aspect.
Right.
Yeah, as much as you could.
Exactly. And so I was really into it because I love music. Like I love dancing, all of that. And so I really wanted to learn.
Mhm.
And that's really how it went about.
Well, that was 2016,
That was
right? When Bedroom Records
2016.
came out. Shit, we in 2020.
2020.
So 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years.
Of growth. So quickly sum up the last 4 years up to now. Like maybe year by year, how you've grown or what you've done since
Different.
dropping that first project.
Musically.
Yeah.
So I've definitely worked on features.
Mm.
Features definitely helped me a lot as far as stepping out of the box. And
Why? Because you're like collaborating with other people and going into their turf, kind of.
as far as like different genres and different styles of
Okay,
music,
okay.
When it came to writing,
Yeah.
I was given a topic to write about, right? It's not
Rather
like
than you just like making one.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, okay, I have to like work on, if I'm given a topic, let me see if I could tap in real quick.
Yeah.
Right. So
How do you feel about that? Do you think that how was it very different for you?
it is different. It's different and it's interesting because it's sort of like you're exercising your mind.
Mm.
You're exercising your creative mind
Yeah.
to come up with and to put yourself in that space.
Okay. Would you say that was, I guess, throughout the years, the most difficult thing about like the process? Because you said you were learning different aspects of production, but when it comes to features, was that the most difficult thing that like you've learned throughout the process?
No, that wasn't the difficult. I would say the most difficult would be definitely trying to create a full song myself,
Mm.
Okay.
as far as making the beat
From the ground up.
from ground up,
Yeah.
and getting the levels right, because you're still working with I use Logic.
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to figure out Logic and how to level out my vocals and how to really pan whatever it is I need to pan, and then
Mhm.
bouncing it. And when I play it back, sometimes it doesn't sound the same.
How you imagined it.
How I imagined it, and it's like
Mm.
frustrating. So
Yeah.
that's really the most frustrating for me. It's just getting the
right sound.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel.
Exactly.
So, sorry. All right. So after that, you started putting out features. You started working on. Did you work on any other projects before then and now, or like your most recent project?
I did. I did some features, and I also released after Bedroom Records. I released a single called "Lean on Me,"
Oh,
and
yes.
I had a Fee feature on it.
Mm.
I've known Fee since high school. He's a really
He's
good
fire.
man. Yeah.
I fuck with his music.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
I gotta give him a
And
listen
so-
too.
Shout out Fee.
Shout out Fee.
He signed to
Mass Appeal.
Mass Appeal.
Mass Appeal
Signed to
Records.
Nas. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
So, oh yeah, you've gone to the studio a couple of times, right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
remember sessions and stuff like that. First of all, the reception of your first project, right? Compared to when you put out Jordan on your birthday, how much
Taurus season, you heard?
Taurus season?
Taurus season.
Bro. Actually, we should talk about how
I'm a Pisces.
Jordan. I'm a Gemini. She knows.
Gemini.
Shout out. Pisces.
You're a fish?
Pisces.
Yeah.
We should talk about how the process of Jordan like came to be. You know,
Mm.
What was the vision? Like all the way, I want to get Jordan like stripped down.
Jordan
like that.
stripped.
Yeah.
Jordan unplugged.
that'd be
Exactly.
fire. Hey yo, we should do that.
Exactly.
That'd be fire. We should get some acoustics in here.
Yeah,
Feel me?
I
Feel
would
me?
definitely love that.
We need more room, but we gonna make it happen one day.
We should definitely make
No,
that
for real.
happen.
So yeah, so how did this idea spark, and what was the process of it, and yeah.
So Jordan, the way it came to be, Jordan was released May 7th, 2020. day of my birthday.
Was it called Jordan because it was your
My 23rd birthday.
crazy?
Damn, I'm a LeBron fan. It don't matter. Though. It don't matter though.
If she did the LeBron, come on, it wasn't gonna be the same. The Jordan EP, the
1,000
LeBron
downloads
EP,
on my
the
end alone.
LeBron
1,000
EP,
downloads on my end alone.
the Draymond Green EP.
No. But continue, Jordan 23.
So, Jordan, how that came about a few months before winter of 2019. So the way Jordan came to be, the winter of 2019, I would say October through February, I was in one of the darkest, deepest like holes.
Yeah.
I was just in a funk. It was terrible. And I was also in a situationship at the time, a very toxic
Situationship. Shout out Snow Allegra. Shit.
Snow.
Situationship.
A bunch of
From October to, you said to when?
I would
January.
say like February.
Oh, it was like
okay.
winter, the whole winter time.
The whole winter time.
Yeah.
You know, and I was in this funk. I was in this toxic relationship, and it felt like I was never gonna come up, right? And when we broke up, when we ended, I was heartbroken. I was shattered into pieces, really. Yeah. And one day I was at my cousin's house, and my cousin's boyfriend was like, I literally felt like it was the end of the world for me. Like I said, I love love.
Yeah.
I'm a hopeless romantic. And so when I was heartbroken, I was really heartbroken. Like I did not want to eat. I didn't want to I was in my under the bed for days.
Yeah.
For days.
Literally. I feel you on that one. I feel you on that one.
Yeah. And so my cousin's boyfriend was like, you have to do something about that. Like write a song. Just write a song about him. And so I went back home. I was drinking heavily too at the time, just trying to cope. I was drinking a lot of wine. I haven't drank wine in a while, so it's kind of crazy. But so I went back home and I started writing, and What You Want came to be. I started talking about, I freestyled the second half, and it was about him. It was about how we were never going to work out, and I should have known from the jump.
The second half?
The second half.
Yo, that's my favorite part of the whole project. And that's my favorite part.
I need to listen to your entire discography. I need to listen to your entire discography.
When you showed it to me, and when we were piecing it together, that specific part is one of my favorite things ever. I think it's so beautiful. Specifically the second half, bro.
I love it too. It's my favorite.
Yeah, right? See? Anyway, sorry. Just wanted to say that.
No, it really is. It feels raw. It feels like it's just
it's
really
emotion. It's a lot of emotion. Even just the instruments and your voice combined, it's just perfect.
Mm-hmm. I closed my eyes and I freestyled it, and I kind of just said it in a way where I was talking to him, or having a conversation.
Do you blank out? When you get into such I guess momentum, like a creative session, you can actually lose yourself in the process. Did that happen?
I definitely lost myself there. I just closed my eyes and I probably even cried.
You just let it go.
I was crying while I was
let it go.
In the studio, in the stew.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the spark for the project, or that was something you had done in the midst of getting over a heartbreak?
Well, it was both, really. Yeah. So I had done that and I was like, let me put out a whole project.
Yeah.
And so I was working with getting
a whole
project done.
Yes,
and
sir.
I was like, let's just get this a mix. Let's just put together tracks and let's make it a 4-track EP.
Yeah.
Yo, she literally told me this 7 days before her birthday, bro.
Oh, 7 days?
It was a week before my birthday.
Oh, wow.
And we had, so both of us were having pretty tough winters, and we spoke about it sometimes, and sometimes we were just MIA just because everybody goes through life.
Yeah.
So we had recorded in New York, Take It Away, a rough version of it. And then we finished recording it in my house, my home studio setup.
Yeah.
And we mixed it a couple times. And, when we first started working on it, I was just starting to mix and just starting to do more production and stuff. So it got a little better every time we started to go to it. And then when she hit me up, she was like, all right, let's I want to put something out. And initially you wanted to make it 3 songs, right?
3 songs.
3 songs,
yeah.
okay.
So we finished mixing Take It Away. the intro completely done, and I think it was like a huge improvement on both our parts because she could tell me what she wanted and I could execute it.
Okay.
And I even just finishing that was fucking growth from the year before.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like both of us just moving into a great direction.
Different like stage in life. And
Yes.
everything. That's good that when when you've been through like that much turmoil and you're able to acknowledge it
Mhm.
and like
Yeah.
look back upon it and just be like, I overcame that. I prevailed.
Mhm.
You feel me?
Exactly.
That's what's up.
So we had done that, and then she was like, "All right, what was the second one we were working on? It was the interlude."
Yes, it was
The
a
interlude.
wonderful interlude.
So you had already recorded that, right?
It was already recorded, and I
And-
sent it to you.
And you sent it to me. We tried to find the producer to send us the stems.
Yeah, so I had the MP3 and we needed the stems. So I
Yeah.
had hit the producer, Wits the Kid. He's from LA, I believe.
Okay.
He sent the session.
Oh, he said, "Oh yeah." So then I got the stems, and that was shorter, so we did that pretty quick. But this is in the middle of a pandemic,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was
'Cause
May.
May's recent. It's
Yeah.
pretty recent. Yeah.
so the rest of the song, well, we worked on 3 together, and the last 2 we had to do through the phone or text or FaceTime.
We actually used Zoom at
Oh,
one
wow.
point just
Yeah.
to really try to get like a real time mixing session.
Okay. I feel like this is Jordan unplugged because I don't think this information is like out there. You got me right?
That's,
Right.
that's true, actually. But
The making of shit.
The making
making
of
up, bro.
Jordan.
Honestly, it was it was one of the most fun things and most stressful things to do just because we weren't together.
No, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, 2 creatives found a way.
Yeah.
If you were to
Right.
simplify it, that just everybody has an inclination to just make shit, even when the world is like on its like heels. You feel me?
Right.
So I was mixing it, but I just want you to talk on how the song came to be. What was it called?
What you want?
What do you want?
I don't know why I said what they want.
What they want.
What they want.
Oh, that's why. It's a different song. What song is
I was
that?
thinking Russ.
Is that Russ? Yeah, that's
That
why.
is Russ.
Hey yo,
Come
that's
on.
crazy.
What they want. Come on.
Shout out
Russ,
Russ.
Russ got a rep jersey a little bit.
Secaucus, we out.
Jersey.
Go ahead.
What was it saying?
How it came.
Oh yes, I want you to like go from how you said you recorded the second half of it.
Mhm.
Speak on the beat. Speak on who was involved in it and how it finally like came to being put out.
Right.
Specifically that song.
So what you want? I made the beat. It was a very skeleton beat. It had the synth in it and just another synth on top of that. And I wrote the song, right? And I did like a whole rough to it, right?
Mm.
And like I said, during the whole breakup, I ended up going back to it. I opened up the session again and I did the second half. And I just kind of poured my feelings into it. And I had this whole vision at the time. I was also linking up with, a few artists like band members. Chris, shout out Chris, and Nick. He plays the
Shout out.
keys.
Yes, sir.
And we kind of just I sent it over. And I was like, listen, I have this vision. I just want you guys to do whatever you feel in your heart. Just play the keys, play the drums, do what it is. They sent it back to me. And I closed my eyes and I literally shed tears. I was
Crazy.
crying because
Yeah.
I've never felt, it was crazy to me how all I said was, listen to this synth. It was a skeleton beat that I made. I literally just sent it out with my vocals. And I was like, listen to it, just feel it out and just play it freestyle. That's really what they did. They freestyled it.
Yeah.
And so he sent it back to me, Chris, and I loved it. And I sent it out to my best friend, Sanji. Shout out Sanji.
We shouting everybody out.
Word.
Love is love,
Everyone
man.
deserves
Shout out
it.
Anthony.
Love is love.
I sent it out to Sanji and I was like, listen, Sanji, I want you to sing on top of this song, do ad libs, do whatever it is you feel. And I want it to be as organic as possible.
Mhm.
And so when I received it back, it was overwhelming almost because the way I poured my hurt and my heartbreak into the song.
Yeah.
And the people received it and they kind of added on to that and turned this song so beautiful.
They like backed up your vision.
It backed
Yeah.
up my vision.
Yeah.
And to me, it's my
I'm about to
favorite
cry right
song.
now.
It's my favorite song.
No,
it really
no,
is my
like,
favorite song.
man,
What you
nigga,
want.
like just the process is just
So
honestly crazy.
yeah.
So
And it helped me heal. It helped me
Yeah.
heal.
I think that's probably why it's your favorite song. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people working on it, but there's a lot of emotions tied to it and a lot of, letting go and moving on,
That's really what it was.
It's a good amount of like sentimental value.
Yeah.
Is that the one that wasn't going to make it?
That's the one that wasn't gonna make it.
Oh, it wasn't gonna make
What
it.
You Want wasn't gonna make it.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, it's originally going to be 3. And I have this this part I recorded a while ago. And she was like, but there's no time to like get it done. And we had like 3 days, bro.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be, I was like, yo, this is incredible. Like, I think it's almost, it would be, it wouldn't be fair to not put it on the
An
project on
injustice,
your
like,
birthday,
Yeah.
to yourself and to everybody else. So I was like, yo, we're going to make it work no matter what. So talk about how, everybody that worked on it, but it came in as pieces.
Yeah.
Like it came in with the backup vocals first. Then a day later, it came in with the drums.
Mhm.
And then we finally got the full stems. Talk about that process of like, I don't want to call it tension, but just I don't know if you call it nerve wracking either.
The time was definitely ticking.
Yeah.
My birthday was coming up. I was like, should I even put out a project on my birthday? And I was like, no, you know what? I personally love, I love celebrating my birthday. I
Yeah.
celebrate the entire month. The entire month of
She
May
got
is my
birth month.
birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, my birthday too? Except the 27th. That's my birthday.
Word. We gotta share birthdays.
Word.
But yeah, so I was like, there's no way I'm not gonna do anything.
Mhm.
We're quarantined, and
Yeah.
I take birthdays seriously. And
What
so
do you mean? Like as in celebrating it?
I love celebrating
Yeah.
birthdays. Like I said, I celebrate the entire month of May,
Except for the 27th.
except for the 27th.
Oh, you're not going to celebrate my birthday? You're not going to celebrate my
for a
birthday?
different cause. Celebrate for a
Whatever.
different cause. Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo? It's whatever.
Or fuck it.
But yeah, so I was like, there's no way I'm not gonna do anything for my birthday. And so I was like, we really have to drop this on my birthday. This is a gift to myself.
Yeah.
And so What You Want wasn't gonna make it because that was the last song. That was the last song to like, it wasn't really done. The drums had just came in. Sanji's vocals had just come in too. And so I was like, do we even have time
Yeah.
to like really get this mixed? And so
Okay.
yeah, we got it done, thankfully.
I mean, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, as a project as a whole, obviously there's individualistic pieces regarding the 4 tracks, but I want to talk about, I guess, it as a whole. What do you want it to convey to the audience when they hear Jordan, or what were you trying to portray, like as a whole? I've said as
That's
a
a
whole.
good
like,
question.
like,
That's a good
10 times.
question because I never really thought about that.
Yeah.
Like what I wanted the audience to really capture
Mhm.
off of my EP. It was more so just them feeling what I felt in my songs. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what I can say. It was just me kind of expressing myself. And if it inspires someone or if someone resonates,
Yeah.
then great. That's really what it is.
I feel that.
I think my favorite, like full song, because the second half is probably one of my favorite things I've ever worked on, but it's kind of being biased. The last track is probably my favorite track on the
Live
EP,
Another Day.
just because the meaning of it, and it's like a perfect outro. It's a 4-song EP, but I think it's a beautiful beat. It's a beautiful, like how you sang over it. It's just perfect. I
It
think
caps off like the whole project.
yeah, it caps off. I think that's a song that people would listen to when they're just, going through some things
Like
and
searching, like
Yeah.
just like searching for an
Right.
answer.
exactly.
I mean, just by the title alone, like "Live Another Day," like that already gives me that type of energy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Crazy story. So Live Another Day, Conspiracy. It was produced by Conspiracy. Shout out
Shout out.
Conspiracy.
Shout out everybody.
Shout
love
out.
is love.
All the IG
Love is love. That's the title of this.
Love is
love is love.
Love is
Sorry,
love.
sorry.
Shout out Conspiracy. So he had emailed me the track to Live Another Day a year before that. So
Mm.
it was 2018, I believe.
A year before you worked on it? When did you finish that song?
So a year before I worked on it 2019, the summer of 2019.
Oof.
Yeah, and it was towards like August. I would say August. But we worked on it. He was out in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
And at the time I was working with United. So I had free flight benefits. I was able to fly for free at anywhere.
Yeah. Out here on a world tour.
This is international.
And so I hit up Conspiracy. I was like, oh, let's work on this track. I really love this beat. And he was like, I'm out in Puerto Rico. And I was like, bet, I'm flying out.
Yeah.
And so I flew out there and we worked on Live Another Day. But the whole storyline to Live Another Day stems from my ex, the whole situationship I had in the winter of 2019. He had gone through a terrible loss. He lost a friend through gun violence, and it was over something so meaningless. But to lose a life like that, and I felt his pain. You know, I was there consoling him, and it was around the time that I had to record Live Another Day, and so
just naturally,
naturally I expressed it, and so
yeah, I think that song is beautiful, and I think like I said, it's a perfect cap to the end of the project. And I just want you to talk about, so you said, how do you think people perceived it as a whole?
Yes.
Including the artwork. Like, I want people to know that, like, you literally worked your ass off doing every
art was
little
fire.
part
He showed
of
it to me. I was like, hey, yo, who's this? Yeah.
Like, that was like, all right, done with the project. All right, artwork. Because you have to submit it. As an independent artist, you have to go through distributors, and sometimes they're, you know, a little slow with it. So we were trying to work on everything. So I just want you to express that too and talk about that, getting the artwork done.
Well, it was tough because, you know, we're going through a pandemic. Everyone's quarantined. I'm like, all right, how am I going to shoot this? How am I going to shoot this artwork? At first, I had this whole idea of making it very tourist related, you know, earthy. I wanted a bunch of plants. I wanted brown. And I was like, how am I going to get this shot done? Yeah. If it's just to me.
And you had like inspo shots and everything?
Yeah.
Like with lighting and everything. Honestly, like thinking about it right now, like you could have probably done it here. Because there's like mad plants and there's a lot of natural light in here. And it looks super nice. And I think that's probably where you were going.
We got a studio going on or whatever. It's whatever.
Let's work on it.
Let's do it.
Next project.
Next project.
Hey. Next project.
I'm assuming. But continue. You wanted to be like a touristy vibe.
Right. And I was just so frustrated because, you know, time was ticking. We were on a time crunch. And I was like, you know what? Let me get my mind off of it. I was in bed and I was like, you know what? I don't know how. It just, my mind just
clicked.
Went, ding. And I had this picture I had posted on Instagram with this butterfly filter. Yeah. And that's what you see on my eyes. Like you see like butterfly by my eye. And so I took a picture of that. I pulled up the picture on the laptop. I took a picture of it on my phone and I was like, okay, it needs something. And so I found this crazy ass filter. I hit up the creator and I was like, hey, listen, I'm trying to drop an EP. Is it okay? Like, do you give me the rights to this? Yeah. She was okay with it.
Oh, for real? You didn't tell me that part. Shout out to you.
Her name's Hannah.
Shout out Hannah.
And
love is love.
She gave me all the rights because I didn't want to drop anything without anyone's, you know? Yeah. So I had asked her, she gave me the rights. And so I was like, okay, how am I going to combine these two? So I had already the picture taken. So what I did was I combined the filters. I did like filter on top of filter. Then I tried to color grade it. Yeah. And it was hard. It was definitely hard to do on a time crunch. He helped me out here. He was like, listen, honestly, thank you. Because it was so tough for me to like get it done. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Bro, it was kind of like, I was so invested already. I was like, yo, we're putting this shit out.
Or something? Or?
Yeah. But it was also.
Why don't you hit us up?
Why didn't I hit you up?
Where you don't fuck with me.
Oh no, it was literally in the middle. It was literally in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was like a little messed up too. I was going through some stuff. And you guys like, you were just kind of like taking precaution. Like everyone should have. Yeah. You know? So it was like 3 a.m. too. It was like 2 a.m. something like that. I'll be up. Because we just finished something, I think. And then we started trying to work on the artwork. So we sent it back and forth, trying to cut out some lines and stuff. And you know, I'm not a pro, but I know how to use Photoshop. So
go ahead.
So we were like, all right, let's send it back and forth. And it took a couple
and
hours.
Y'all figured it out.
Yeah, I actually love the artwork. I love the color too. Like it's like a
color grading.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, But yeah.
Go ahead,
Beautiful.
color grading out here. Look at
Come
you.
on, come on. It was both of us.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Look at you guys.
I'm proud of
we
us.
always,
Go
but yeah, so
ahead.
look how much work it takes. So how do you feel about, are you proud in doing all of that? Like having a hand in every little piece that you did with the project?
I am 110% proud.
Yeah.
I was very hands-on.
As you should be, because I feel like not a lot of artists pay attention to like different
The
aspects.
details.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely respect about you. You're definitely like, you're not demanding at everybody working on it. Like, oh, do it this way.
You got a week. That's it.
Do it this way, do it that way, or this is, you know, you give people some freedom to
Right.
express themselves as well. And then
I think that's important.
yeah.
I always believe in, like, you know, if someone's gonna touch on whatever I'm working on, I would want their authentic side as well.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
I would
like-
want everyone to contribute and give their piece as well.
Okay.
You know, so
And another thing I want to say is thank you for at least trusting me to work on that.
Okay.
I'm about to cry.
I'm about to cry.
But because like, even though it was on a time crunch, like I feel like even throughout that week, we kind of like, even for myself at least, I learned a lot. And I feel like if we had even more time, it would have came out even greater. I love it, but I feel like for the future,
I mean, like you said earlier in the podcast, there's always room for growth.
Exactly.
Am I right?
so
Always room for growth.
yeah, so thank you for trusting me and thank you for, you know, allowing me to be part of that. And to segue on, so what's you know, what's moving on? What's next? What's coming
What is
up?
next
What you trying to
for
do?
Shrls?
So
to
speaking
me
on
nice.
Jordan, speaking
Yeah.
on Jordan, I am in the works of getting some Jordan merch out. It has been a very difficult and
Just
hard
fire.
time.
I'm trying to count.
The artwork, I've been working on Photoshop for a bit,
Yeah.
just trying to get the artwork done, and you know, I was meeting up with you know, someone that had like the machines and figuring out the fabric that I wanted to use, like the type of material I wanted to use, like the hoodies and the shirts and all of that. It's honestly, I love that I'm very hands-on with that.
Yeah.
Because every time I would try on a different brand hoodie, I wear it and I look at myself in the mirror like, do I like this? Is this something I would want to wear?
Yeah.
Right? You always have to think about that. Like,
Yeah.
what you're selling, is it what you would wear?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's important.
Authenticity.
Exactly.
back down to
you
it,
want to be
yeah.
authentic.
And branding and identity too.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I got that down. I figured out which hoodie I want to use, and the t-shirt and all of that. Now I just have to finish working on just the smaller things like packaging and setting up pre-orders and
I'm mad excited. I was so
And
happy when you
so-
started working on
Yeah,
that.
let's
And
get
it's
it.
just like,
yeah.
bro, it looks fire. Have you seen it?
I need to see a preview or
I
something.
have
You gotta
to.
show me a little
Damn,
preview.
I should have worn the hoodie. Damn.
Oh, word.
Oh, there's a prototype.
I have samples. Yeah. I
All
have
right.
samples.
We could like
and
insert a
so-
photo.
one of
or-
one right here. Look at the photo, right?
Word.
So after merch, I think that's actually an incredible plan that you have going into that direction. Just because it's something that it's tangible to other people that you know
That
support you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that support you and that were with you during that experience. That shit is fire. I like you see that?
Mhm.
Jordan.
Yo, the back is crazy.
And the back-
Look
the
at
back-
that.
Yeah.
Look at
The
that.
back would be
Back
the
is
lyrics to Live
crazy.
Another Day.
Yeah, see?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, let me know. Drop some dates. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Drop some days.
Word.
So after or along with merch, what about music? What
yeah,
about
musically, like,
things?
where are you headed? What do you have planned? Or if you
So-
have something planned.
Yeah, I'm actually currently working on my next project. It's going to be an album.
Okay.
It's going to be a
On your birthday or no?
no,
Call-
probably sooner. Definitely sooner.
Okay.
Definitely sooner. It's going to be a 10-track album.
How far are you into it?
We're there. We're getting there. We're almost about a little bit more than halfway done.
Okay.
Not really though, because you know, as an artist, you always go back to a song and you're like,
Yeah.
let's change the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you change throughout the year, so I'm assuming your tastes and your creative inclinations change
Exactly. Exactly. And so I'm still finishing up some songs. Like I'm still just trying to really plan the track list. I've been working with a few other artists doing more features.
as well. Okay.
And you know what's interesting is that this pandemic has taught me so much about who I am as a person, and how messed up this world is, in the way that like they instill this mindset that you have to work at least 2 jobs, like a 9 to 5, to really just live.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And
I know exactly.
The American
She
life.
preaching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
She
so
preaching right now.
listen, I was working at the airport, and nothing against that job, but I knew I wasn't happy. I wanted to work for myself, and I wanted to do something that I loved, right? And so this pandemic, it gave me that time and that freedom to really think about what I wanted to do. And like I said, I didn't really start working on music until 2016, which was like about 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I found a way to really get some income going through music. So what I do is I write for other artists, and I throw in some hooks and verses and stuff, and so I get compensated for that. And that's been a way for me to really just
Fund your
make
dreams.
ends
Yeah.
meet.
Support yourself,
Yeah,
but also grow.
exactly.
Yeah, because it's practice for you as well.
Exactly. And so that's been really working out for me during this tough time. I can only imagine. I want this to inspire people to really just do what they love. Really, I didn't think it was possible. I was like, I'm only 4 years in. I don't really have. I just dropped a project. You know what I'm saying? And so, but it's possible. People really throughout the world, they listen to your stuff, and they want to work with you.
Yeah.
Whether it's music or photography, videography, you know, collaboration. They want your worth.
Yeah.
You have to know your worth. And so this pandemic really helped me realize that. And so
I think that's incredible that you realize that. And I think a lot of people realize something similar about themselves, that at least that, you know, that I've seen, whether it's like on social media or in person, that people I've spoken to, because there really is no right way to live. Like, do what you think is right. There's guidelines that you see from other people, but who are they? They live their life. You know, it's whatever you think is best for you. And I'm definitely happy that you found that for you, because you seem a lot happier and you seem a lot
Go
like.
ahead.
I'm out of that little hole that I was in
Go
last
ahead.
winter.
Just filling up the hole.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So
But, I mean, that's a perfect transition now that we're at like the end of the podcast. We typically like to ask our guests, what would be like a piece of advice you'd give for someone out there, also applicable to, I guess, your former self? Like, what do you live by? What do you go by? What's your mantra, your slogan in life?
definitely, I would have to say, just follow your heart. Really, don't think about what the next person is doing. Honestly, because we live in a world where social media exists, and we look through thousands of profiles and thousands of people and their lifestyles, and you don't even know if it's true, right? Because the internet, that's not reality.
Exactly.
It's really not reality.
I was just talking about this with my boy. He was saying that like Instagram portrays your best. Well, most people portrays your best moments.
It's just your best moments. It's like a highlight reel. Exactly. You know, for sports, like it's a highlight reel.
Yeah.
They don't show your downfall, the struggles, what you really go through, and so none of that really matters.
Experience.
Yeah. It's really just focus on living for yourself. It's easier said than done, really.
But once you get there,
it takes practice and really little. You know what I say? Sometimes it's hard for me, but I do little things that really boost my mood and my energy.
Okay.
You know, when I feel like I'm getting myself in a funk, I'll listen to a song or I'll dance, or that's my way of getting myself out of that funk. Because once you're in that funk, you really just want to dig yourself deeper, and you kind of want to live in that funk, right? It's just important to really just do what you love.
Just goes back to knowing yourself
and knowing yourself,
loving yourself, and being there to support yourself.
Yeah.
Love.
Get to know yourself. That's important too. Get to know yourself. There's a lot of people that are still unaware of who they really are, you know, and it's important to tap in and really just spend time by yourself.
Yeah.
Spend time alone.
I think that's like a theme in most of the episodes that we've done. Like literally get to know yourself.
Yeah.
A lot of people advocate for that.
Yes.
But it's a huge message that I guess just gets overlooked, or like it goes over the head
by the rest of the world.
Yeah, because like you said, it's like easy to say, but not very easy to execute. But it's just a matter of dedicating the time to do so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that wraps up everything.
On that note.
Yeah. I just want to thank you for being on the podcast.
No, thank you.
Where can they find you? Do you want to plug anything?
Yeah, so you could definitely find me Shrls, SHRLS.
Put that somewhere here.
On all streaming platforms
Hashtag.
and Instagram, Shrls, SHRLSZS.
Dessert.
I'm trying to get that fixed. You know, there's a guy that has Shrls. He has like 6 followers.
You gotta buy it off.
Yo.
And I
I've
literally
been trying to do
message
that
him
shit
every
too.
month. I'm like, listen, let me just get that
You're
username.
not even on
please."
here.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's
You're not even on here.
It's the most annoying thing because I tried to
Yeah.
do that too. Like years ago, I just want my full last name. I'm tired of having a last like
you,
2
you have an
A's.
extra A,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, let me get my. You know what I'm
I
saying?
just separated
Yeah.
my name by a dot. So
Nah, I don't like no dots. Give me my
I want
name.
the full
Give me
name. Like,
my
just give me
name.
that.
Straight up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or some people put like real and then your name.
I am real. I don't gotta
Yeah,
say that I'm
exactly.
real.
You don't
bro.
gotta
It's
state it
me.
for these folks,
It's me.
man. You
It's
gotta
fake.
state
You
it
want me to
for
put
these
fake? Come on.
All right, yo. Where can they find you?
You can find me at, like I said, at Lacunza, LACUNZAA, because somebody stole my shit. But yeah,
And you can find me at Justin.Victorio. All the links will be in the bio. All the shout outs will be in the bio. Shout out, shout out, shout out. I love. Thank you again for
we
watching.
love. Shout out Cheryl. Shout out Justin.
Shout out Anthony on audio.
Shout out Kate.
Find me, yo. Come on.
Come on.
Y'all know where to find Ant. Y'all already stop
little-
fucking with him.
That's my little assistant. Ayo.
Ayo, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.